Hello, collective. Happy November 1st. So the sun is in Scorpio and the moon tonight. So if you feel like, bag of bricks, yeah, it's a bag of bricks. That's like the heaviest emotions you can carry in one evening. Double Scorpio. Because Scorpio don't mess around. Yeah, I wanted to show this to you first because, yeah, it's 10 degrees Scorpio for the sun, and then for the moon, it's 17 degrees. Yeah, and they're both sitting down here. Okay. Now, their ancestors have a board meeting. Again, it must be some kind of follow-up from Halloween. See how you are doing and faring. Okay. Because this is kind of a delicate time, So you won the battle. Okay. So you can beat a coven of witches. Yay! So if they come and arrest you, it's like, okay, this is cake. This is cake. I don't have to pay rent. They'll feed me. And I'm not scared of anyone in there. So, because that's kind of may be what you're feeling, because they haven't made these people responsible. Okay. These people, and these are the payments that are due tonight, use groups and clubs and organizations. Okay. Religious groups, clubs, and organizations. So they were highly protected. Okay, highly protected, which meant that you could isolate anybody in a remote area, put an insurance policy on them, unbeknownst to them. They like to single out and profile people that were single parents. They like to single out and profile people that maybe had kind of like, were really disciplined and their mind was always focused on the family, or because those would be people easy game. If you didn't pay attention to the little weird things going on around you, then they can continue their spell work until you're just like, well, what is going on? That's this. So you got about 50, 60 people on one unsuspecting person. Okay. And if that one suspecting person, the little Venus here, goes out and about anywhere, neighbors, grocery store, it'll sound nuts if she says, hey, yo, do you feel like people are following you, or so she doesn't do that. She wants to be, I want you to take this very seriously, that this can happen. These groups of people have enough influence and power that they will isolate an unsuspecting person who usually is a high vibration person, who's really friendly and nice, and it goes out of their way to balance relationships. Okay. That was me all the time. And then corner them, because you're attached now to something, and usually it's a policy. Because if they can isolate you and confuse you and overwhelm you emotionally, double emotion tonight with the Scorpio, that's why this is so sensitive, then you'll just fold. You might just decide to get in your vehicle and just drive off into the great beyond. You can't take it anymore. And they love that, because then they can, because if they're in court and they've taken your identity, they can prove, well, that person passed away. They had a mental breakdown or whatever they're doing. But this is serious stuff. These people mean war. These two meant war. And I've been fighting them for about 3 years now. Okay. When I finally kind of put one and one together, I've got to be attached to something, or these things wouldn't be falling away from me. Okay. They were falling away from me because that was the gig. See? Yeah. And so they take this little isolated person of service, because that would be the divine feminine. Okay. So there's a payment due for that, because look what they did over here, guys. So what they did is communicated, Gemini. They communicated a lot of secrets. Okay. They communicated secrets and expanded them into the community. Yeah. They expanded, Jupiter, these secret conversations, Gemini. That's all they did. So, and believe me, the people were thrilled to jump on the hate bus and hate this person, because to them it made so much sense. Well, yeah, because that person's so put together now, that makes more sense, because they either get their money erroneously, or they have shady activities, or, you know what I mean? It's like, it was so fun for somebody to jump on the bus and just annihilate a beautiful person, because we don't like beautiful people. There's a backstory. Well, so they jumped on the hate bus, and now there's payment due for that. Like, you told everybody that person was a demon. Yeah, absolute demon. Okay. Told them they had no brains, and they were horrible parents. Okay. And so for the only recourse, this is the only recourse, is to get on YouTube and say, look, this can happen. It's usually in areas that, you know, not very, I don't know, kind of remote areas where the coven is in charge. These groups in my area are quite dominant. They're sometimes attached to white supremacy or extreme right or extreme left groups, that they're not balanced politically, socially, and they do it to be bullies and to take command of the geographical area. That's just what it is. They have a team of people doing this, okay? And just one little person who's like, well, this kind of sucks, you know? So, you know, and if you try and not focus on it, it almost gets worse, okay? I know from my experience, if I went to try and get another job, because see, they would find a way to get me fired from my job. No, I'm not making this up. It got to the point where I had to go to the interview and say, look, I really want the job and I hope you can hire me, but I just want to tell you heads up that I'm attached to something. And there'll probably be people calling corporate to say I've messed up somehow or done something wrong. And they're trying to get me fired. And they kind of look at me like, what? But you've got to understand, if you've signed somebody up for an insurance policy that's worth like, I don't know, $3 million, $4 million, okay? And 50 people working that and cutting that pie, that's not a big deal at all. Heck yeah, get me on the bus. Heck yeah, this person's a piece of junk. That's what they did. Yeah, for the money. So we've just been through this like transition where, you know, the Most High has helped the angels. Thank you. He has helped the angels make it through, okay? But now we sit in this because unless there's some kind of judgment, there's no movement. And these are top secret people, okay? Anything Pisces is 12th house. 12th house in an astrological chart is, you might as well be living in the bottom of the ocean. Yeah, they're invisible. These people were invisible. They lead normal social lives. Some of them are judges. Some of them are attorneys. Some of them, you know, work pharmaceutical or work for a vet clinic or, you know, ranchers, farmers. They're just normal people, okay, that follow the cycle of the moon to do witchcraft on somebody that's attached to a large amount of money. The top. Yeah, you think it's nuts, but I'm here to tell you, please don't disregard this information. Try and follow me as best as you can. I'm not trying to like, because it's important that somebody hear this, okay? I don't want anyone else to go through this because there's really no recourse against this many people. You know, I would go and drive to see a doctor or an attorney regarding something I was concerned about. Like, do you think I'm chipped? You know, and I'd go to the doctor or I'd go to the, you know, and I'd be pulling in and see the cop car pull in the back of the building and go in the back door before I could even get to the appointment. So what does that tell you? They had already told, don't say anything, because we're investigating that person for A, B, or C. That's what the cop would tell this person that I needed help from. Well, what do you get? What do you think, collective? Am I going to get any help in there? No. They're going to say, well, I think you're kind of worried about, think you're worried about nothing, truly. Yeah, okay, all right. Oh. So we got to take them down. We got to take them down. And it's not easy when it's double Scorpio. That's like twice the alchemizing for tonight, to keep your emotions up. If you're a fire sign, you'll just feel like you're drowning. Air, you'll feel like, well, what is all this? You know, you won't even want to bother with it because it's just so Scorpio. It's a lot of Scorpio tonight. Yeah, so these payments are due. This religious group, okay, they did a lot of secret expanding communication-wise. Secret lies. A facade. And believe me, for them, it was a heyday, you know, to jump on the hate bus because, oh, this makes so much sense now, you know. If you were just like this really like dedicated person, you know, kept to yourself, disciplined, you know, didn't respond to texts or catfishing, and that irritated your op, see? So it gave them more leverage. Yeah, that person's a piece of crap because I can't hook them. They were mad because they couldn't hook you? Well, my God, I don't even read comments. I don't even read comments or check comments, write comments, because they would triangulate me in that conversation, see? They've used my profile before to post on other people's, you know, to cause friction between me and the rest of the collective. That's horrible. You know, when I love all the readers out here, but they see my little, you know, my decal, whatever, you know, and they go, oh, what's that one? Yeah, you know, and so that's why we learn to read energy. We learn to read people's energy, because the energy, if you're speaking truth, it comes from your heart and your soul, and you believe it. Okay, so I hope I'm convicting enough that you know that I believe what I'm saying, that they go to the lengths to triangulate you when you try and reach out. And guess what? The person you reached out to might get hurt now. They might get attacked now, because maybe that person I reached out to doesn't believe what they've just said, and so continues to try and get a hold of me. Well, then they intercept the phone. They'll intercept the phone. And yeah, they would know where I was going before I'd go. So what, you know, just to be completely controlling. You're attached to something very valuable. And I don't know if this was set up with these groups of people in many different states, you know, and they were just waiting to cash in as soon as you were harvested. Okay. Well, those of you that stuck with it, you know, now we sit, but now we need some kind of judgment to reveal this horrible crime. And, you know, I'll volunteer. Hey, yo, throw me in the slammer. Yeah, if that opens the gates for this, absolutely. Do you think I care? Heck no. They've accused you of so many things. You have no credit. You had to throw that away because they stole your identity. Yeah. You have no job history because, my God, all you could do was wait tables and pray that the person wouldn't fire you from waiting tables. Okay? 10 years of that. You know, I mean, this was set up very systematically by some very devious people who wanted nothing more than to live another 20 years with absolutely no care in the world, because money was everything, see? So they've ruined these lives for them to live high on the hog. And the Most High didn't like it, okay? He does send some kind of Yoda from the Chiron, which is an Aries tonight, but it's retrograde. But the healer's trying to send something to this moon, which would probably be the collective moon. Like, I know this is a heavy night. I know that you have a brick on you with the double Scorpio. It's heavy. And we don't want you to give up, okay? They don't want you to give up, because if you say it with your heart and your soul and you believe it, there should be none of this, okay? The first person you would have told about this would have said, well, hey, you know, we'll keep an eye on it for you. You know what I mean? That would have been the noble thing to do. But that person had already been approached by somebody higher up the chain that said, no, they're part of an experiment. Don't tell them nothing. Just say, you know, go on your day now. Wow. Get the brush off. And a lot of it, gaslighting. They're like wizards at gaslighting. Everybody around you would gaslight you. And so you just got to be like, oh, okay, all right, dude, you know? So it's a sad state of affairs. And that's why these people have got to go through judgment. They have to meet judgment. No ifs, ands, or buts, okay? And we have to bring it down from the heavens that God's word be vindicated. Like, these people aren't making this up. They don't get on YouTube for a lot of attention, especially if they're not reading comments or making comments, or even know how many people are following them. You know, thank you for watching. But this can happen to somebody where there's no recourse. So you really don't know what to do. You know what I mean? So, but you have God. And if you're in his hands, then it's his plan. So we got to believe that. I believe I'm in his hands, and I believe he has a plan. I just wish he'd be a little more specific. I'm getting weary. Some of you that the resources were compromised, okay? I was on unemployment. I ran out of unemployment. And so here I sit, okay? So if you have to give up a living situation, and it comes down to that, the Most High has told me it may be because there's karma associated with that living, where you're living, okay? Because your ops had triangulated that relationship as well. They had approached the landowner, you know, made up a version of events. You know, we really want to warn you, this is a loose cannon, okay? You might see the little medical bus pull up and take this person away. You know, whatever they told this land person started raising my rent, like crazy amounts. Like I was in this 2016, so I had grandfathered in this spot, paying $585. My God, I pay $800 now for the same little area. Yeah. So there was something said there, or something, I believe, that was compromised. I don't know why or who or how. And then if they are trying to keep an eye on you, they'll put neighbors above you, around you, and pay their rent. So while you're struggling to pay this rent that's been escalating, okay, these people around you are just sitting back watching, hanging out like everything's cool, man, because their rent's paid. Do you see what I mean? So if you are sick of being a slave, that's what that is, enslavement. Then the Most High said, don't give your 30 days. So I'm trusting him. Okay, I'll do what you say, because I don't want to be a slave to something I don't trust. There may be karma there, okay? Because there was an interception, and if you're a minority, it could have been something like that, Well, this person can't keep a job. They have no education. Any little thing they could find, they would target and make a conversation. These secrets of Jupiter, huge. They were huge, and they were secret. And Gemini is the hurricane. That's the strongest air sign of all three. It's like the tornado. So you don't mess around with Gemini. So just think about that kind of effort with these secrets expanded constantly about one person. About one person. That doesn't make sense. It does if they're attached to something, okay? They're attached to money, okay? And they don't want to fold. And they knew you were a sweet person. They knew you didn't like conflict. So they're really surprised you even made it to this date and time. Truly. Yeah. Okay, guys, I'll get off my soapbox. I'm so sorry. Alone. Yeah, you might be feeling alone. Double Scorpio. You might feel like I am alone, but you're not, is the thing. And I push forward because of the team of people that invested in me. I have a spirit team, and you can have as big a spirit team as you want, but it takes, you meditating, reflecting on these people and their lives. And all of a sudden they come and they give you things, just little nuggets of wisdom. And you're like, wow, thank you. Things I hadn't considered, And I wouldn't trade that group of people for anything. So they really invested in me to say, look, no, you're not nuts at all. And these people did it for money. But this is a long war. So we have to give you perseverance. And that's what the angels have tried to do, is give the collective lots of perseverance, because we don't know how long this is going to be dragged out. Somebody has to be judged. So my suggestion is to people in law enforcement that don't know what to do, because it sounds so convincing both sides, well, go ahead and just throw the collective person in jail and watch this group of people skip to the bank. That's the first place they'll go. Yeah, skip to the loo. Because, well, no, they'll go to the judge first. They'll go to the judge first with your arrest record now. You've never been arrested for anything, but all of a sudden, look, they just got arrested. They fell apart. And now the judge can okay the release. How does the judge do that without being fair? Because there's been a bribe. There's been a bribe. Yeah, it's pretty sad. I didn't know we could buy justice. I didn't know that. But yeah, I guess if you have all the money in the world, you can buy any story you want to. Any version of the events that suits you, just buy it. That's what they did. At the cost of this person, their sanity. Yeah, think about this person's mental strength to just walk it out. Making choices, just walking it out. Yeah, because the Most High told me this. He said, it's not that the choice is black, white, right, wrong. It's not like that when you're being evaluated on the choices you're making, okay? The spiritual world is watching how you respond, regardless of what decision you made. So they're really watching you walk it out. That's what they're watching and grading you on. Wow. He's a tough boss. God's a tough boss. I'm just saying. He's not for the weak-hearted. You're either in 100% or he can't help you. And so that was since I was at 0, backed up against a corner, I thought, you know what? I'm in 100% now. I will. Every other time I just folded. Oh yeah, I overthought things. I'm so sorry, because I needed the resources. I went back to the enemy. you know? But they were the one that got me fired, and they were the one doing spell work on the money. And they can almost expect by clockwork when you're going to come to the door and ring the doorbell. They have it all planned, collective. It's a sequence of events to make this person completely vulnerable. They're indebted to the enemy. They're enslaving us. That's what that is. And so the Most High is like, do you want to be a slave? No, I don't. Well, then you got to trust me what I'm telling you to do. So that's what I'm doing. It's not a fun journey. So I hope none of you got signed up on a policy that unbeknownst to you. But that's what it is. You're attached to something quite valuable. Okay. And with you gone, they can enjoy it. So anyway, so yeah, this blessing comes from the healer, to your emotions. The moon is all about emotion. And then we get one from Jupiter to the moon too. So Jupiter wants to expand something, and it's a secret. So you might get a secret kind of download that makes sense to you. Oh, that's why they did that. Because Jupiter wants to tell a collective moon tonight. Yeah. So that'll be interesting. Yeah. But yeah, the pink ones are the payments. The green one is the blessing. We saw you fight for your home. We saw you determine what was valuable to you. Do you want to stay there when that place is attached to karma? Probably not. Because everything that you couldn't let go of has residue of that karma. Like he's trying to break that curse over your bloodline. So if you can remove yourself from all their, evil plots and plans, that's for the best for you, And it looks bad when anybody in authority is following this and going, my God. Yeah, they have her sleeping in a vehicle, and it's November. Yeah. It's not going to make them look good because they watched them do it. They watched them set it up like that. So, yeah, I did do the words for tonight too. So for the first, there's some kind of bones of, and this is this radio, tronium, is that how you say it? Radio. It's a byproduct of nuclear activity. So if humans get around this after a reaction or something, it'll go right into your bones. Yeah, it's highly toxic. But I think the ancestors wanted to show you that tonight because that's what your environment is like right now, okay? So you might be taking out quite a large area, and that's why he wants you to just make plans to get out of there, You survive, and this was unfair. This was very unfair because you had no recourse. You can get all that from today's letters, okay? This industry overestimated forfeiture. Yeah, some kind of industry. They're in some kind of industry. But the thing they have in common is this black magic. This religious group of people with the Book of the Dead, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, that think they're highly skilled at corrupting people's lives, unbeknownst to them. Yeah. And I don't like that. I feel like if you have any suspicion that someone's doing spell work on you, I want people to have a place in public where they can go and ask somebody, hey, do you think this is what this is? Or am I just, you know what I mean? Because they will work on a person until they crack. Okay. I saw it happen to one of the people I waited tables with. My God, I'd go over there and she thought there were cameras all over the house, and there were, yeah, I'm sure. But how do I help her? Because it hadn't happened to me yet. Do you see what I mean? But they were targeting her. And she was a wreck. See, and she was a single parent. A lot of you will have a court. It'll be a court fight. See, you're fighting for kids. They will isolate that one person and make their life a living hell with spell work until that person caves and says, here, take it all. Take the house, take the kids, take it all. Because you just want out of it. Except you have to be careful where you go. Okay? Because any other time that I have fought this far, I'd go right back to the enemy. Because I didn't know they were the enemy, for one thing. So, yeah, it's very intertwined. It's very connected. The person you think, there's no way. This is a very, non-conflicting person to ask. This should be no issue here. And they just happen to have heard word from somebody they admire, they respect, and decide to, I really can't comment. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, all right. So, yeah, it's an evil thing, and they're very proud of it. They boast about it, they brag about it, and they're surprised you made it this far. So like I say, if you have to be thrown in the slammer for something you didn't do, think about it this way. They're going to feed you, okay? Hopefully. I mean, if they hate you too, then, you know, maybe don't eat the food while you're in there, and then you can come out looking like Skeletor. But yeah, because they would probably poison your shit, right? Yeah, I'm sure of it. Anyway, whew, so we don't want to live here. We might have to get a helicopter to have a bucket and come and get us with the bucket and drop us in another continent. Yeah, another jurisdiction far, far away. And that seems so extreme. But when you're dealing with this kind of extreme, then you know, yeah, it is time for the helicopter and the bucket, because they haven't paid that yet. They haven't paid that. And guess what? If that's not paid, it continues to happen to that person. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So there's a barn might be stormed tonight. A barn might be stormed. So a barn might be stormed tonight for these fruits and bread. And then there's one order on a nation to dread you. Yeah, what was it about this one person that we couldn't kill him? Like, they're kind of a little nervous about that. So some of you just have that DNA upgrade, you know, from going, you know, from the 3D and doing all your, you know, your body acclimated. So you would already come out of whatever lower vibration they were sending. Do you see what I mean? So, and a lot of your ops didn't ascend. So I think that in itself is how you fought most of this, is they were sending such low vibration stuff. You were like, what? You know what I mean? Like, you could feel it, but it was just like, you stepped right over it. Yeah, so they dread you. And then an enemy entered into your land, into your hand. Oh, yeah. So there's no L for today. But it does say that the enemies were delivered into your hand. Some respect. That's what that's trying to say. And then a sheaf of first fruits. The intensity of your devoted restoration. Yeah. So the sheath of first fruits, that's kind of like a tithe. You know, and any of you that start to get some blessings because of this fight that you knew it was valuable to be a part of, so you made a change and you know, stepped up to the plate, then there is saying you have to give this tithe because you recognize you were helped. See, that first little portion of your blessing, when you give it back, that's to show, look, I couldn't have got here without you. So it's just to respect this tithe. And then yeah, you're devoted to restoration. The being in double Scorpio tonight, that's maybe an awesome time, truly, because Scorpio is the transformer. I mean, it helps people transform. So it might be a good time to do that for tonight, this devoted restoration. And then a treaty fortified, and your vow with the truth. Yeah. So there's some kind of treaty that's been fortified now. So the boundaries have been set. Like I say, if you need to get out of your living because your ops have polluted it with, you know, and you're trying to break that, like, I don't want any contracts with these people, then you might have to leave. Okay. And that would fortify the treaty. And then this is, now you have this vow with the truth. You have this vow with the truth. And it's rewarded. It's rewarded, yeah. Because you made a vow. Like, I'm saying it with my heart, I'm saying it with my soul, and I believe it. I mean, that's all you can do. And I've said, hey, yo, bring your polygraph in here, dude. Hook me up. Because I'd obliterate it. Like, I would tell you some truth that would blow your mind. I would pass that thing, and they'd be like, yeah, well, she's not being deceptive. No, I'm not. I'm telling you, dude, these people attach people to policies that are worth a nice little mint. They can go have a second home in Sun Valley. And life will be but a breeze. Yeah. Well, this person is absolutely suffered. Hey, so I got 29. Oh my gosh, I rattled. 29:36 on the clock. So this is the reading, guys. This is what we got, is this high priestess, which would probably be a collective high priestess. 10 degree Scorpio, transformation. She's trying to build something stronger. And then we've got the magician over here, November 1st. And it's a little different kind of alchemy that this person's doing. So it's some kind of like comparison of these two, how they fared at the end of this. And the Hermit wants to go over that. Because the Hermit realizes at 17 degrees Scorpio that these were hard choices to make. Okay, some of you had to cut yourself off from children who did not believe you. Your children did not believe you that these people in your life had betrayed you. See? So they maintained the relationship, whereas you can't come near it. Okay? If you're breaking a curse, you can't go near it. You can't accept money. You can't accept bribes. You can't accept a grocery bag left outside your door. You can't accept anything. And the Hermit saw this, okay? How difficult these choices were to cut these people out of your life, to break a curse, okay? A lot of it has to do with a bully, you know? I think the Hermit found out they enjoy bullying more than anything, because it gives them like this satisfaction. Like, look at my talent, you know, I can bully these people out of their destiny. You know, I wasn't supposed to be waiting tables, collective, but that's how clever the magician can be, you know, to convince this person, well, you're not worth anything but waiting tables. You're my slave. Yeah, well. So then you come up here to this Mercury, 29 degrees Scorpio, master degree. Yeah, master degree for Mercury and for Mars tonight. They get that 29 degrees master degree. So it's time to publish. This Hatfield and McCoy squabble, whatever this is. Do you remember the Hatfield and McCoy story? It feels like that, but they had more fun with the fraud. You know, I mean, they enjoyed this war, this Hatfield and McCoy war that was all very political. You know, that involved some high up people when that happened. But the achievement for them is this fraud. You know, the fraud was outrageous. The facade they created around your area to get people on a hate bus was horrible. And the people bought it hook, line, and sinker. They were conned by the biggest con, this influential group of people. So then you come down here to Jupiter, and Jupiter has this 20 degrees Gemini. And Jupiter's just happy that you're here, okay? Just happy that you're here, collective. And then Saturn is 12 degrees Pisces retrograde. Yeah, he's realizing, Saturn gets the High Priestess, but he's realizing what the Americans are going to witness. Okay, because this is huge. This group of people was hooked in everywhere. And lots of policies too. Yeah. So then down here is your Venus and your Mars. Venus gets the destiny wheel and knows that, well, God, I'm in God's hands. It must be his plan, you know? And Mars is 29 master degree Cancer, so he's almost ready to go out of Cancer, but he's got all these decisions. And just like the Hermit, you know, we have to choose wisely. That's the crossing energy, are these choices that you make as you walk away from this war, this unfair war. And then Uranus has this 25 degrees Taurus retrograde. And something about, yeah, this dude, Peter Schaefer, had that birthday. He was Taurus, 25 degrees Taurus. He wrote a play called Amadeus. And if you ever saw that movie, it's a pretty cool movie, right? Except it's not based on real events. For Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. So people walked away from this movie, this play that he wrote, thinking that that was really what Amadeus's life was like. I mean, it made an awesome movie and story, but it wasn't based off of real events. So that's why it gets the devil card. Then you come up here to the star, and 27 degrees Pisces retrograde. There's some kind of higher view. Yeah, just think of God looking down on this as a giant video game. And it doesn't look too hot to the Most High, no. Pluto, 29 degrees Capricorn. Yeah, this story of the person born 29 degrees Capricorn is really sad, but it helps the collective know that other people couldn't lie down either, because I feel like you can't lie down and rest until there's some kind of judgment. So Pluto's going to go over that. And then we have the destiny up here and the Chiron for the outcome. So we'll see if we can We can get you some good information here. 3455. Yeah, I'm telling you. I think I tried to do this video like a couple times, but I thought, you know what? I can't do this. This is double Scorpio. I got to kind of explain why I keep doing this, why I don't read comments or make comments, or, you know, because it gets old after a while. It gets old. Like, dude, I just want some help, you know? And I can't trust if people reach out to me electronically because they've hacked into my email. I was trying to sell some stuff on Craigslist. You know, I needed the money. And the people would be responding to my ad, and I would see their response just disappear. Like they would get in there and delete it before I could even open it. And if I went to my trash, it wasn't in there. But I could see that somebody had responded to it. Yeah, they're evil. Absolutely evil. You could say, well, they're protecting you. Maybe it's law enforcement actually doing that to protect you. Yeah, but I still need the money, dude. Okay, so, yeah. Ancestors, please be here for this reading. We're going to need your wisdom tonight, please. My whole spirit team, please be here. Highest Ascendant Master Jesus, I cannot do this without you. Help us be your disciples with your wisdom and figure some stuff out. I love you so much. And then Archangels Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, please be here. If you're not at the board meeting, because there is that board meeting tonight. And to the Most High, just keep collective in your hands with your plan. I love you. I love you. God Almighty, what would I do without you? Wow. Frame. Yeah, they were the setup artists. They framed you, collective. That's all they did, is set me up for stuff that oh yeah. So then, yeah, that smells good. That's the incense. They would, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so I'm just trying to remember all the little stupid things they do. The more I remember, the more it's like, God, if any attorney, the Most High has told me there have been attorneys looking at these incidences. So they must have some kind of grandfather way to, you know, because it's all going to be the same crimes. These horrible people did the same exact thing to everybody. So what was I going to tell them about that? Yeah, the phone. No, it wasn't the phone. All right, maybe I'll think about it in a minute. Okay, so ancestors, help us out here. Yeah, I swear you're going to live forever, collective. I really feel like that. And that's what irritates them. Why is this person living forever? Why is this high priestess up here breathing? You know, and then they bring their person to the table. Well, this is who we have to represent ourselves, this magician. Ooh, yeah, nice. Who has the birthday? Cheerio. Cheerio had this birthday for November 1st. He was an Irish clairvoyant, okay? This Irish clairvoyant, Cheerio, which I think his real name's William. Did I write it down? Yeah, it's some kind of William John Warner. Yeah. He spent 2 years in Bombay with a guru. That's how good of a clairvoyant this person was. So he had princes and kings and queens going to see him as a palm reader. He had a good reputation, okay? So this person, that warlock that did all this magic on you, that was the leader of the pack, has an underground reputation of being quite reliable. So you don't make them look good right now, collective, okay? I'm just saying. When he's got kings and queens wanting his readings, you see what I'm saying? So the high priestess doesn't care about any of that. She's in the middle of a transformation, okay? The person with this 10-degree Scorpio is the emperor, the 122nd emperor of Japan, okay? And I think I've talked about him before, this Matsuhito Meiji Tenno. Matsuhito Meiji Tenno. 1867 to 1912, he was the emperor of Japan. But you know why he was different is he built something. He built something. See, I feel like that's the difference between the priestess and this. Because everything, he can't build anything because then it's out in public. It's all underground, very, very secretive. All he could do was build this evil network of people signing people up with insurance money. Yeah, that's what he built. It was a spider web of murder. But this dude, this emperor, he created a constitution for Japan. He created a parliament for Japan. He universalized education in Japan, railroads, telegraph lines, because in those days it was the telegraph, military. He set up Japan's military for the first time, Navy and Army, so on the earth and in the sea. And that put Japan on the map. You know what I mean? This emperor put Japan on the map all of a sudden. People are looking at Japan all of a sudden. So that's the kind of leader the high priestess wants to be, is that the birthday of November 1st is this person that went in leadership to build something lasting. Build something lasting. And it has to be public because she cares about people. This one just wants to harvest your kidney. This one just wants to harvest your kidney. Yeah. On the black web, they can get 80 grand a kidney. I think it's a little bit more now. Maybe depending on your blood type. Yeah, 80 grand. Wow. Man, collective, if you had 80 grand, maybe you wouldn't be so stressed out, right? Now, the hermit is who comes along and says, look, yo, I got to be careful. Yeah. Because the Most High is watching these choices that these people are making right now, because nobody's been judged yet. They're just sitting here. Okay. And he knows that every breath or step that these two take is going to be highly watched. Okay. So the Most High says to me, it's not about right or wrong or black or white. We, as your spiritual team, watch how you walk it out, how you respond. Okay. So that means kind of control of your emotions, having, to not waver on a decision once you make it, just keep walking forward. You know what I mean? It's like that kind of thing that they're watching. But nothing is harder when it's like the decision isn't hard. Okay, let's say the decision is if you stay or if you go. Okay, that's not the hard decision at all. What's hard is when the truckload of people show up and ask you, well, why are you leaving? You've had friends, right? You make this decision and they're like, why are you doing that? And you're constantly going around saying because of A, B, or C, and they don't understand that. To them, that's not what? You know what I mean? So it's like you have to make a decision and you have to not care what the people think of it, And that's hard because you do care about people. But this person has turned the collective person into somebody that has to stay completely isolated and protected because she doesn't know who to trust. She doesn't know who's good or who's on this team of harvesters for her kidney. Yeah. Okay, so Hermit, what do you want to tell us? What do you want to tell us, Hermit? Is there going to be a decision tonight? Previous. Some of you have made the right decisions previously. So they're not worried about you because so far you've done things by the book. Considerably. You're considerably looked at. I know that. Okay. It is important for you to persevere, to move forward, even if it's just like, the smallest little contribution to the collective to get their vibration up, whatever it is. A TikTok video, those are short, right? Whatever it is, that work, that 8 of Pentacles is crucial. That you don't hide in the sand like an ostrich, because you don't know what to do and you're overwhelmed. Just keep your work up. You know what I mean? That's all you can do. When I started this channel, the spirit guides told me, well, you can't make money off of it. And I was like, okay. But they told me no. So I don't accept any donations or anything like that. But I see now why. Because your op stole all of it. They stole it. And then tried to sue you because you had revealed what their plan was, their evil plot and plan, these evil plot and plan people. You revealed it. And so then, you got this legal thing going on in the background. So I can see why they told me you can't profit from this at this moment in time. Yeah. So, but it is about your work, whether you make money off of it or not. Your contribution to the collective is huge. It's huge. Because this isn't information that a lot of people look forward to watch because they can't relate. But anyone that just stops and listens to these people are, okay, they're telling the truth. What, you know? Now, I think I did have people that watched my video that reached out to law enforcement for me, but I think they were told we're reviewing it. You know what I mean? They were brushed off too. That's kind of sad. But I think it's turned into something much bigger. I think it mushroomed into something much bigger. So anyway, okay, so the work collective is doing is respectable. There's a divorce. There's a divorce. The Hermit is watching the Magician and the High Priestess tonight and realizes he's witnessing a divorce. Okay. Yeah. They made a lot of promises. This person made a lot of promises to his team on the hate bus. Made promises, okay? These people bought properties, got loans for other things because they just depended on that money. And now the homes are for sale. Yeah, they had to go back and because of this person. So it's put such pressure on his intimate relationship that there's some kind of divorce. What do you want to tell us about this divorce? Yeah, because think, what he had promised to his significant other or whatever, and so she opens up like 10, to plan for the big vacation or the big remodel or whatever, and then feel absolutely stupid. Now, I did use a credit card during this war. I did. I always am cash only, okay? And especially when I waited tables, because that's what I lived on. But I didn't realize it was going to be this long. So I was okay with it, because I've been known to pay off my credit card with, with one payment. You know what I mean? I don't like it sitting there like that. But I didn't realize. You see what I mean? So you really had to persevere. You really had to think long term. If you believe in what you're saying. And yeah, I would rather die in a cold car, sleeping in a cold car, than go back to my enemy, okay, and surrender. That's huge when you'd say, I'd rather die for the God's cause. I would rather die for this truth than crawl back like some kind of invalid. When it's been set up for a long time like this. They just wanted to wait and see. Okay, is she at the door yet? Because you end up apologizing? Are you kidding me? When they tried to kill you, don't you dare apologize, collective. They tried to kill you. What is this divorce about? Yeah. This divorce, they didn't want to face the problem. Yeah. It says strength. There, okay, he's trying to be strong. He's trying to outstrength you right now, this warlock, okay? Because he knows it's hard on you. You don't have anywhere to go and just have a cup of coffee and say, hey, this is where I'm at. You don't get that. You have to deal with the spirit team saying, don't stop. And this person, he didn't face this problem of you being here, and now he has to. Every day he's reminded of this huge mistake that he overbidded. Yeah, there were bets on the table, okay? So some people lost bets. Yeah. He feels like he was betrayed. Maybe the warlock was given information that was incorrect. I think a lot of the ops thought you were a demon, collective. And so everybody justified it, but you aren't a demon, and so he's just sitting here going, I think I even betrayed myself, like for not using my God, he's, aren't you a clairvoyant? Yeah, he got conned by the con. Yeah. We're going to see one of the largest con schemes in American history, if not the world, when this is done. This was a huge network of nothing but a lie. And everyone jumped on. So, he's a merciful God, okay? Because he realizes that these people, this gaslighting wasn't just, so that you could borrow the car one Friday night, you know, so you make up some, oh, I'm going to the bookstore. You know, it wasn't that kind of gaslighting. It was like set up for many, many years, you know? And if you were the type of person that was usually alone, you know, that couldn't get jobs for some reason, they had spell work on you your whole life, you know? So it was easy for them to say, well, this person's a piece of junk. Well, yeah, because you put spell work on them your whole life, you know, making them invisible. Nobody can even see me when I go in to apply for a job, nonetheless, hire me. So there's karma for that. And that karma is that Jupiter sitting in the 12th house Gemini, because it was huge and they expanded it. It was absolutely huge. The propaganda, huge propaganda against you. And you're a nobody, so nobody cared. They thought, okay, that's safe enough. Yeah, that's a nobody. You know, because you weren't like, you know, Elvis up there with your jumpsuit on, you know, doing your Heartbreak Hotel. You weren't that type of person, so they didn't think it was a big deal to degrade you. Say, yeah, we don't miss her. And all because they had kept you on spell work so that you would never be on stage like Elvis. Are you kidding me? Yeah. You had no chance. You know, maybe if you had the chance, there's no way they could have done this to you. You know, but the spirits are telling me they've done this to passed over famous people too, to get the money. So, yeah, this was all done for 10 of Pentacles. You know, yeah, he's not facing this problem. He's avoiding it. Well, there's only so many hours that you can avoid it. As soon as a decision is made, you're going to see this start to pick up a little bit because it's just going to fall like dominoes. Okay, so what do you want to tell us about the Mercury? It gets the World card tonight. So Mercury knows, hey, master degree, it's time to publish something. You know, I want to know, what's the bones of this? What do we got here? You got a con man is what you got. It's a huge scheme. Ponzi scheme that everybody was like okay with, you know? That's not going to hurt anything. Wow. The lives that were destroyed, like I'm saying, this is like going to go down in history, how many lives were actually destroyed. Unbeknownst to them. I'm telling you, I didn't know what was going on. I just thought I had really crummy luck. No. Statistically speaking, the things that happened to me wouldn't happen to one person in a lifetime. Unless I was paying back all this karma, you know. But there were windows of time that I could get my little blessing from God. So those were times I was protected. I was by water, okay? I lived up by the coast for about 5 years. And I don't think the spell worked on me up there because there was too much water or something. Anyway, it depends geographical, because maybe your op is like over in the desert and you're over on the, you know what I mean? Little things that you look back and you go, well, that's what that was. I was geographically protected for the first time in my life. So the magic wasn't hitting me. Yeah. But they make sure and hook you back in. They do. They're very stubborn. Okay, so Mercury, tell us. This fraud that they did is huge when you see the fraud. We're talking identity theft, altering judicial records, birth certificates. It's over the top, yeah. And this King of Wands, okay, who's this King of Wands, Mercury? Fire sign, Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. An evolution concerning documents. There's an evolution to how we process things in court. There's going to be an evolution on, liars. It's because of the liars. They made it really hard on the next person now, because there's going to be twice as many steps to get anything accomplished because of these liars that went in there, bribed, got their way. And so now it's like every judicial, that's made aware of this is my God. Now we have to have a 10-point checkout to cross-check and make sure it's even that person, Walked in the courthouse as somebody else, walked in the courthouse as you, and you didn't know. What are you supposed to do? Be hanging out every courthouse in the vicinity, watching with your binoculars? Hey, you got my records? What are you doing with my records, man? You know, I think about ways that I could have, you know, fought it. Like, you know, no. It had to all come to this point, this pinnacle. It had to come to this pinnacle because you're taking out everybody, collective. This is like, you're a whale, you know. Okay, something about, thank you, Mercury. Yes, we know it's the end of the cycle, but, okay, these are upside down. Okay, oh, wow. Yeah, the theft is exposed. Whatever they stole from you, identity or material-wise, it's been exposed. Mercury, that's why Mercury must be a King of Wands that stole from you. And he cannot face the burdens, the Ten of Wands upside down. I can't face this right now. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's somebody that avoids responsibility. You know, that's what that is. They're avoiding the responsibility of this. Was a choice that I made. You made the choice. And the thing is why the angels told me that about decisions. It's not if it's black or white or wrong. So in other words, this person, you know, had made the decision to do something fraudulent. Okay. So it's not like the angels right away just give this person a big black mark on their test. You know what I mean? They wait to watch how that person walks that out. And it got worse and worse and worse is what they're saying. Like it wasn't just, you know, they had notarized one fraudulent document. It turned into like 20 or more. And then they were calling doctors and all these fraudulent people, paying them to say these things about an innocent person. It got worse and worse and worse. So that's where the karma comes in. The angels don't care if you make the wrong, you know what I mean? They do, but like if it's a hard choice, you know, like I didn't want to give up my kids. What mother wants to give up their kids? But the lawyer kept telling me, oh no, they've got the good city job. There's no way you can provide for them like him. And this is a dude that tried to kill me. So I'm like, okay, I had to surrender the house and everything. It was in my name. He got it all. You know, and I was advised that this is the, you know, if you want your children to have a roof over their head, then you should do this. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Yo. Wow. I'm so glad I woke up after that because that's not right. The attorney was bribed to lead somebody down a really crummy path of despair. Like there was nothing I could do, you know? But that's what your ops are really good at is this whole setup, you know, like, they're not going to face life. They're not going to wake up tomorrow because they're going to be so depressed. Or they'll drink themselves and get a DUI, get thrown in jail. I mean, they were just trying to set up all these endless things with their spell work. And it's incredible that you made it this far. It truly is. Okay, so King of Wands, he's responsible. It's a fire sign that's responsible for this theft. It could be a female. What do you want to tell us about? What do you want to tell? And they're in judgment too. What do you want to tell us about this fire sign, Mercury? This fire sign. Was this a family member or somebody outside in the coven? Somebody of rank, authority? Yeah, that's the other thing. If you knew anybody in authority, you have to be careful of that person's position. And the things that you were saying would compromise that person's appointment. You know what I mean? So, you know, I did know some cool people on the coast, okay? But I didn't want to compromise them, you know, to look into this because I thought, you know, first of all, this sounds outrageous. And second of all, anything that I tried to respond or have a relationship with, that person ended up getting hurt. I don't want anybody else hurt, okay? Yeah, it was horrible. That's how isolated they wanted you. Yeah, well, you can't reach out. We're going to make sure that all you have is your cat to talk to. Yeah, they're in judgment. They're in judgment. Oh, some kind of judgment. But now we've got an Empress that wanted to stick to that. So there's an Empress in judgment too. The Empress was stuck right to the back of that. Okay, so tell me about this Empress. So these are older people than you? Yeah, maybe a generation ahead of you? King of Cups is involved in judgment. Wow, now they're all coming out. Wow, we got a lot of people. We got a lot of players. Okay, is there anything like new or exciting with these people? Yeah, they didn't know, collective, that you could defend yourself. And all of those. Okay, all right. That's a lot. Okay, so you were planning or complication. Yeah. Okay, yeah. First of all, this family of yours was determined to have this new beginning. This is Ace of Wands. So they were the ones that wanted the new, fresh beginning after your funeral. Yeah. As soon as we bury this chump, we'll go out and have, martinis. Okay. So that's the first thing with this group of people. The second thing is they planned this chaos, conflict, confusion. They planned this, that you'd become unbalanced and disappointed about your past. See? So it's this planning, this Two of Wands. They planned this. All this chaos, stuff you couldn't explain. Statistically speaking, though, if you wrote it all down, you'd be like, there's no way that could happen to one person. There's no way. Because it was less within 6 months. It was always you were at ground zero, ground zero, ground zero. How many times a year does somebody have to be at ground zero? Usually, but they made sure of it, that was just like continually hitting you with like, okay, recover from this. And you didn't lay down. You were like, well, this is strange. Yeah, it is strange because they told everyone that you were you didn't have a brain. What? How do you get to an interview and get a job if you don't have a brain, first of all? You know what I mean? And then, just, I think it had some kind of, supremacy belief system where, our race is supreme. And I think it truly, yeah, they thought that anybody else that didn't believe that could be sacrificed, because they wanted all of this plotting chaos to bring you imbalance. That's the little chariot with her little harness on. So they wanted it to bring imbalance for you to be disappointed, Four of Cups, and about your past. Like you'd start to tally it up. Like, my God, like I better just end my life because I'm worth nothing. And yet you knew, you're like, and this is just things I look back on, like when I was a kid, and I'd get through a cycle and there was always a blessing. There was always a success story. And it came kind of easy, actually. I was pretty laid back about it. But I started to notice that those weren't showing up. And I had walked every step right. I know I did. And they were harvesting your blessings. Yeah. This is very common for starseeds. I don't know if you saw my reading about starseeds, but it feels like they profiled starseeds. I'd like to just keep this video like, look, this is an everyday average video where they will harvest from a single person with children in a court battle. That's one of their top ones, because they already know you're stressed out. And then as soon as they can put a couple more, hammers in your car, then they can make sure that when you don't want to get up and then, you give up, you lay down. Yeah. While they live in the castle with martinis. That's very unrealistic. That's very chauvinist. That's very fascist. Yeah, big time. Yeah, the fascists want to rule the world because they're supreme. They don't care the backstory on anybody. This is what we have planned. They're control freaks, okay? This is the train that goes. So you're not on it, and so just from the train, they're shooting people. They have no second thoughts. Yeah. And I started noticing it around my area. Maybe you'll pick up on it if you read a paper and all of a sudden, oh, so-and-so passed away. And they were 23. So-and-so got hit by a train. They were 18. Just these really weird. And then you go to the website of that person that just passed, and they have this huge, legacy page. They've spent all this money on this page dedicated to this person that just passed. Please donate. So they're making money off that. And then as soon as the funeral's over, then they get the insurance policy. What a schmuck. Yeah, no care of heartbeat or human life. No care at all. It's all about the money. Dude, can't you just leave the people working what they were doing and leave them alone? And as much effort as they did, him being a warlock, he could have done some money manifestation himself for all the effort he did with these people. Like you could have manifested it yourself, not a problem. You know, but you just had to harvest from somebody else. They had a pretty decent destiny. That's why we're going to Jupiter. You had a very decent destiny, by the way. So they got somebody that looked like you, to go to court as you, and then still the destiny as you. Yeah. That's great. So Jupiter just wants you to know that he's happy you're here, period. This 20 degrees Gemini is shared with Judy Garland. Now, Judy Garland, we all know, sang Over the Rainbow, okay? But the Most High wanted me to tell you that for that moment in time, Judy Garland's voice was the only voice heard. That's how beautiful that was when it first came out. Came out 1938 is when she recorded it for the first time. And then when the movie came out, the soundtrack 1940 was produced. So that's pretty remarkable that he'd say that, because just in that one moment, because a lot of people have sung that song. So it's almost saying to me something about your walk with these people. It's like it had to be you. It had to be, because you were speaking from your heart. You were speaking from your soul, and you believed it. I mean, nobody else would have followed anybody else speaking a lie. And this doppelganger that looks like you did nothing but take your material and then go try and copy your energy. Well, you know, the real person will look kind of run down, because this has been a long war. Let's be real. But JFK, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, would call Judy Garland, would call her on the phone and say, please just sing that to me. So she would sing him Over the Rainbow on the phone. Isn't that cute? Because there was just, a lot of people have sang that song, okay? But there was no one else for that moment in time like Judy Garland, okay? Now, she had a lot of struggles personally in her life. Fought a lot of demons in her life, okay? But that might have been her destiny, you know, right there in that moment. Because no one will forget it. No one will forget it. I love you, Judy. Help us out, man. Yeah, they're rotten, aren't they? Whole bag of them. Yeah. Never buy a bag of apples. Just pick the apple one by one, please. When you buy these bags of apples, unbeknownst to you, you know, it's a better price and stuff, but there's always, like, unless you're making pie, I guess you could buy the bag for the pie, but you'll throw them out because they're hard or they're brown, whatever. Anyway. Yeah, I know. It's a rotten bag. I'm telling you. Okay, Jupiter, what do you want to tell collective? We've got some kind of one moment in time kind of feel, and a very important person, JFK. Somebody very important is going to reach out to you, because whatever you said helped them. I'll tell you how. Okay, so the Queen, right? Now, I don't go, you know, begging to talk to the Queen. You know what I mean? Queen of England. I show respect, and I'm not going to bother anybody from their grave if they don't want to talk to me. But I was meditating on, you know, the version of events, the bloodline, the questions of the legacy there. You know, we were all kind of tuned in with the news with after Princess Diana, you know, her death. Anyway, she enjoys the collective story, because for her, she could look at it as an outsider, because she knew there was stuff in her bloodline that was going on. Okay. But as an outsider to watch your story meant a lot to her, just on healing these relationships, because she couldn't heal them or balance them when she was here. Okay. So that's why your voice is valuable, not only because you're the vocal cords to God, but there's people that have passed over that realize, okay, now I see. There's just something about looking from the outside into what you're saying that's helping people ascend. Okay. Queen said that. Yeah. So like I say, you're a star for that. Don't underestimate the power of a testimony. My God, people stop drinking all of a sudden because they hear a testimony. You know what I mean? And it's powerful, because you speak it from the heart, you speak it from the soul, and you believe it. And it's obvious. Politics, lots of politics involved. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, and everything on the news right now is just, it's only about November. It's only about these two candidates. And, you know, I hope that God shakes a reality, you know, like, well, while you were absorbed in this is actually what was going on. is the everyday average person that might vote to support you is getting robbed of a life. And there's no way to protect that person that just voted for you. Yeah, isn't that a shame? See, so something, the rug has got to get pulled out for these people. They go, oh my God, where'd the rug go? To realize, okay, this was a little more serious. Because it's huge. Absolutely freaking huge. And all because they built an underground secret society. Yeah. There's a death to that. There's a death. Okay. Is that everything? Is that the download, Jupiter? I love you. Okay, yeah. He said I did enough. Okay, so Mars and Venus tonight. Let's do Mars. He's the Joker. He's got the full card. This is Mars tonight. 29 degrees Cancer, so master degree. Something about making a choice. Okay. Yeah, this is not an easy choice. It's Judgment Day. For Mars, it's Judgment Day. Yeah. He's got to face his ghosts. You know what I mean? He's got to face these haunting things from his past that he was too busy. I'm too busy for that. And that ghost followed him to today. He's still back there. Are you gonna talk to him? It's like he made these decisions, and then for his consciousness, he went really fast. And he had a lot of fun, and he distracted himself, and then he never realized that ghost was still there, tapping on him, going, are you ready to, you know, what you did back here? So you make these choices, okay? And I'm not saying it's about black, white, right or wrong, but there can be a ghost that follows you because of the choice you made. And that's what's happened to Mars. And now he has to face this ghost. Something about it is affecting his occupation, his work. And Uranus, the planet Uranus, resonates to the 29th degree of Cancer. Don't ask me how, but they're all broke down by decadent, you know. So Uranus, that planet resonates to that. I'm not sure. Oh, no, because the number 4. Because it's the 4th. Okay. Yeah. Each of the decadents are ruled by a planet. Anyway, so Uranus is unexpected events. It's chaos. That's what I'm saying. So there's something chaotic about his work right now, and this ghost that's following him, saying, I'm ready to talk. Okay, tell me about Mars. He'll face the ghost, but it'll be with a lie. He will lie to the ghost. Like, how can you do that, dude? Dude, do you see me arguing with my spirit team? Like, why would you argue with somebody dead? That's almost what your ops made you do. Well, we don't know your version of events. Well, what do you want me to do? Argue with the person that told me? That's what they expected. You to just get so crushed, you know, well, I must have heard the wrong thing from the other side. No, you did not. That's what he's doing to that ghost tonight, is telling that ghost a lie. Oh, no, that's not what happened. No, it is what happened, because that's why I'm still here. Yeah, that's what he's saying. He wants to rest from this hell and get away. Yeah. He can't stand this person following him, this ghost. He wants to rest from it. Chaos, conflict, confusion, 5 of Swords, cutthroat, a war he had to win. Okay. And now he just wants to get out. 8 of Swords. He just wants to leave. But that's part of the karma is you talking this out with the spirit. Yeah. I blame this world for making a good man evil. It's this world that can drive a good man mad. Yeah. It's this world that turns a killer into a hero. Well, I blame this world for making a good man bad. That's Bon Jovi. Thank you. Yeah, I was that girl. Okay, just clear this up. I was that girl in high school that had the full height of Bon Jovi on her door, the poster. Yep, I had that. Yep, had that full poster. Yeah, I think it was from Blaze of Glory. I bought that. So yeah, I'm that girl. But that's a good song. I think he wrote that. Bon Jovi wrote that. You know, I blame this world for making a good man bad. You know, he just hopped on the hate bus. You know, to him, he didn't even, you know, no big deal. Nobody knows that person. Nobody will care. And now the ghost is like, you had an opportunity, you know, to give that person a clue because you saw that they were getting attacked. There were probably more than 50 people at one time after you, collective, in one way, shape, or another, with either at work or at home, on the drive to work or home, at the grocery store. It did not matter. They had people positioned. It was quite military. Yeah, it was very militant. It's an army that's fine-tuned, a very fine-tuned army that he had no reservation in being a part of. Oh, I'm set. I got this army of people. Except, what about God? God's like, that's not my army. Yeah. Okay, all right, Mars. Yep. Yeah, enjoy this getting to face your ghost. Yeah, with no illusion. Don't lie to the ghost, dude. I'm telling you. So Venus comes up with 18 degrees Sagittarius. God keeps me safe. 18 degrees Sagittarius for Venus. And yeah, she has 18 degrees Sagittarius is John Malkovich, and he's an actor. And if he did Of Mice and Men, the John Steinbeck story, he was in that movie with Gary Sinise. It's a very good movie. But that movie shows like a mercy. You know, it was during the Depression. These two men just needed a vocation. They needed money. So they traveled together. And one was debilitated. Like, you know, he was he could walk and talk and everything, but he was slow. Okay. Well, this I guess it was his brother or whatever, would accompany him, you know, and speak for him so they could get vocation, get money. And then, you know, it's a beautiful story, but it's almost something about that story that makes me think that there's a mercy, that the outsiders are seeing you set up, like this Lenny. I think the character's name was Lenny. Lenny had a disability, see? So it's like you were set up that people looked at you like Lenny. Like, well, there's somebody who's going to need a lot of help. You know what I mean? And there was a stigma on that. Like, this person ain't up to par. And it's horrible because you watch in the movie and the dude has a heartbeat. You know what I mean? You know, and there's more severely handicapped people than Lenny, you know, that are blind and deaf. But it was almost like they set it up like that. And the mercy of that John Steinbeck story to make you conscious of the world that God wanted was for people to have mercy and love, you know? And they created this facade to point out something that really shouldn't have. Yeah, but something about this lie they said about you was almost like crack cocaine. They were so excited to get a hold of that. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It could be anything. But yeah, they were dying to spread that around. Yeah, evil. And it wasn't even true. Okay, so what do you want to tell Venus tonight? I know she's getting that. She gets a little favor from Jupiter actually tonight. Because, yeah, Jupiter feels so bad about this, about all these secrets that have been communicated, that he's able. Did I not draw it? I didn't draw it. But see, last night the Chiron had this sextile and then this trine right to Venus. Yeah. I don't know if it's still there. I don't know why I didn't draw it, but oh yeah, I did. No, I didn't. Yeah, I did. You can't see it though. Okay, so there's this blue line. See, it goes right to that and then over to Venus. That's the blessing. Because Jupiter feels horrible that this one person, you know, got all of that. That's Jupiter, man. That's a lot of gossip. That's a lot of secret communicating. How could they even get away with it? I don't know how. They must have done spell work on the people before they even approached them with the story. So there would be no issues. They knew it was, you know, don't say anything to this person, but we have to get rid of them. They're a demon, whatever they said, you know what I mean? So it was highly orchestrated military. Ooh, and it's their coffin for doing that. That's why this goes down in world history, because why do we have hundreds of people attacking one? and that person has no recourse. It was hard for the collective person to even prove it, you know? I guess I did shuffle. It says, for Venus, 5 of Cups. Some kind of regret. 5 of Cups. Yeah. Okay, so what's in the sun tonight? Something's in the sun tonight. That this person's under judgment. I'm going to have to qualify it. 5 of Cups. And I hear sirens. So we want to find out who's in judgment tonight. Apparently, since it fell for Venus, it's a female maybe in your story, an empress or a high priestess or something. Who's in judgment? Who's in judgment tonight with this 5 of Cups? 5 of Cups. Yeah. 5 of Cups. So an unhappy relationship needs to be resolved. Okay. So Venus, you might have a unhappy relationship. Something ends. A partnership ended for you. That's why it's 5 of Cups. This was a partner maybe, or a relationship that ended. And this loss of intimacy creates, it's distressing, you know? Okay, I see what they're saying. Okay, so this partner you're not with this person anymore. They're in judgment. You were in partnership with somebody, okay? And now they know they could have balanced things with you, and they didn't. They didn't choose that. And just like Mars, this ghost is following them tonight. Like, you gonna face me now? You gonna face me now? And they because whatever decision this person made to leave behind, kick around, you know, fend for yourself, Venus, you know, what did I do? They're realizing I didn't have a backup plan. I didn't know you'd still be here. And they're realizing that it was a lot of work for very risky rewards. Like, if they get a reward for this, or I'm not sure what's going to happen. They're in judgment. But whatever happens at this court, it was so risky. There were so many penalties. Okay. Do you want to give us a qualifier? Yeah, this is a person that would say, I was the good man that the world made evil. Like, they won't take responsibility. It's probably a narcissist. They'll say, oh no, it was because of this. You know, they're going to try and shift the blame when it was their plot and plan all along. Tell me about this person that's in judgment that is a loss of a relationship with Venus. So it might be an ex. It might be like a child that you had to let go of. There's so much love and harmony that wasn't talked about. Wow. Yeah. Did you not see Jupiter 12th house, Gemini? It was so much lies, Page of Swords, lies told about you, that now they realize they didn't know how much love and harmony you truly had. They never got to see that because you were either moving to avoid another tower. You know, like I say, statistically speaking, at least somebody in the vicinity would have remembered, oh yeah, they were happy like 3 months ago. You know what I mean? But this person refused to tell the real story. That came upside down. They didn't tell about the love you had, the harmony you had, how you always, if somebody had to give, you would give. If somebody has to give, it'll be collective. It always was. And pretty soon you're just like, for what? So you can take my house, my car, my money, and I'm at ground zero again. Oh, that worked out really good for me, thanks. Yeah, no, this person refused. And what's crazy is I believe, I don't know, maybe on your social pages, you know, people know that you're a loving person. I had to get rid of all mine because I couldn't explain this to other people. When I figured it out, it's like, oh my God, this is horrible. And I didn't want them hurt because they always came and triangulated that person to say some version of events that even they were questioning me. So I was like, it's just better I don't even talk to anybody, truly. And I feel horrible about that because I have some people I'd really like to get in touch with that I miss, but I can't. It's just, there's no way. These people are evil. They would take the thing you love the most and sabotage it so that you don't have any recourse love from anybody. And yet that's all you were about, is this Ace of Cups. That's what you're about, collective. And this harmony, this Three of Cups. Celebration, you know, you were always one to hate, you know. And they didn't say that part, did they? No, they didn't. Well, this person can sit in judgment. Yeah. Next time you go give a, you know, version of events, to be fair, tell the other side of the coin. Yeah. Okay. Somebody is shook up right now. Somebody's really shook up. Somebody's shook up. They might be getting judgment. Somebody is staring down a bullet. Staring down a bullet. And it's a verbal bullet. Okay. So one of your enemies or your ops has come into contact with another one in the coven. And they're just avoiding this verbal assault that's taking place. This person in the coven is not happy with this person's version of events. Okay. I'm going to tell you, collective, I really believe it's DNA related. They thought you were pretty bad if your own parental figure would start this type of propaganda, but come to find out they're not your real parental figure. Okay. So that makes this person just look like a complete psychopath. Okay. That you would, you know, wow. Yeah. Okay. So Saturn, let's go up and see Saturn, 12 degrees, Pisces retrograde, loyal. Yeah. Realizing what, 127 already. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm going way out, huh? Saturn realizes what America is going to witness. Like I say, this is a pretty big, you know, life-changing event. And he's recalled to 12 degrees Pisces. This person that has that birthday is Desi Arnaz, 12 degrees Pisces. And if you think back to Desi Arnaz, you know, from I Love Lucy, America got to see on television, you know, in a very normal setting, like your home, another country's, another culture's way of life, like how that person, you know, because Desi Arnaz was funny, you know, and he had the accent, and he'd go off on his tangents, you know, to Lucy, and it was so funny just to watch Desi, because he had a, you know what I mean, he was different, this male dominant from another, you know what I mean? So something about that is gonna affect this, because there's so many people that don't know that active magic that's going on. That's why. Okay. This is for the first time America's gonna see, oh my God, this is going on everywhere. And they're gonna realize what they were in the middle of and had ignored. Yeah. It's something like that. Desi Arnaz. Thank you. What's that? I want to be gracious. I want to be gracious. Yeah, yeah. He stood out here. You know, he stood out. He stood apart. Desi Arnaz. It would be like collective going to a foreign country. You would stand apart, you know. Everyone does, because your voice is different, you know. But you, especially collective, are going to stand out. You're going to be like Desi Arnaz, wherever you end up border and safety-wise. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. Maybe you'll live in the Caribbean or I don't know, South America somewhere. Wow. Compared to the former way you lived. Okay. So Saturn, what do you want to tell collective tonight? What do you want to tell collective, Saturn? You're the borders and safeties. So going to be, we got one person in judgment, okay? We got one person in judgment. Okay, Saturn sees you as a star. He sees a star. Is this star going to be able to make prudent choices? Clarity of purpose. Are we going to keep this star level-headed in the hands of God, Yahweh? That's a lot. I can't take that many. They'll be here forever. Like, oh my God, I'm watching this video. It's like so long. Oh, I have one of those in there. Wow. I'm glad I did that. Okay, so Saturn wants to tell you about this investigation. Yeah. Nine of Swords. This person looking into your situation knows that you're victimized. He knows you're not making it up. You know. Yeah. So I hope that helps. Yeah. If he's watching you, he knows every step of the way. Okay? You know? You're not always like happy-go-lucky, high vibration. The world's, you know, going to be perfect someday. But you had to do this for other people. You had to tell and expose this hornet's nest. It was a hornet's nest. You know? Thank you, Saturn. Okay, so 25 degrees Taurus. Yeah, this is the dude that wrote the play Amadeus. And then it hit movie theaters and people were obsessed with his story. Just like your ops, obsessed with this story about you. They believed the movie over the dude's real life because it was so good. You know, it talked about betrayal. It talked about friendship. It talked about almost a murder because of the competition between two composers. Well, it existed, but that wasn't accurate to what truly happened. And so a lot of people left that with that background or that thought, and that upset Mozart. I bet it did. You know, but that's the seed that's planted during propaganda. Just this little seed of, well, you know. And they ran with it. And it went like wildfire. They had so much fun with these things that were said about you. It's like, get your guns at this point. Like, some of them probably wanted to kill you over it, you know? Probably wanted to kill you over it. They thought you were such a jerk of a person. And you didn't know why all this hostility was around you. You had no idea. You were attached to something. You were attached to a policy that this dude orchestrated, military style, to several people. I don't know if it's one person in each state or what it is. I have noticed that collective people are spaced out. And you're spaced out according to your energy because some of these angels vibrate pretty high. Okay? And there may not be another one around them in a couple, 3 states. Okay? That says a lot about your energy, geographically speaking. Okay, so yeah, Peter Schaefer, awesome movie. Awesome. I'm not saying that, but for those people that leave the theater and think, oh, well, that's, you know, it should have been made really, really clear that this is just a reenactment of a way events could have gone. You know what I mean? Like, this person was in this position. This is a reenactment of, okay, what if they made this decision? So that the viewer knows, oh, okay, well, we know what really happened. But yeah, what would, because you're interested in fate. You're as interested in destiny. I'm interested in that. In these choices that we make, it interests me. But the angels say it's truly not about whether it was black or white or right or wrong. It's about, they watch how you walk it out. Like, are you constantly looking back going, maybe I shouldn't have done this, or, you know what I mean? Like, they watch your conviction. Because if you believe in you, then you should never turn back. Okay? The decision you make is, this is what it is. I got to do what I got to do. For good or for bad. Because I believe in what my team is telling me. Okay? Something about an investigation. Wow. Okay. So this is hermit investigation person is trying to run defense tonight. Yeah, interception. He's trying to run interception tonight for you, okay? Because this person, this king, this is an earth sign. It'd be Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, King of Coins, is very interested in coming toward you. Knight of Wands. This person wants to get to you, okay? And it's because of your gift, your Ace of Coins, okay? But he knows that you're protected. So the hermit may not have to intercept it at all. I think he's starting to realize, like, even if he got in your block area, something would happen, his car would stop, or it's just weird, bizarre things that happen because the angels are like, no, you can't come near that person. That's how they want you to break this curse. They're very determined you break this curse. If you get into contract with this person, it's like backpedaling. Okay? It's backpedaling. You're going to feel, because this person is wealthy, maybe, you'll feel inferior. And God doesn't want you to feel inferior ever again. Yeah. He's going to put you with an equal that you can respect and balance each other. Yeah. He never wants you to feel the way these people made you feel ever again. And you shouldn't have to. But he doesn't like that because this person, you know, is in a position to make your life better, but also in a position to have oppression over you. Okay? And you made up your mind, I don't want to be a slave to anything anymore, except what I know I'm here to do. You know, your duty. Okay, so Neptune, pistol whip. Yeah, well, that's great. This person has been known to pistol whip people. Wow. Here, I was giving him a good review. This person has been known to pistol whip, intimidate, bully. Right here, collective. No, I don't care if you're king of the world. I've earned, heavenly have earned an equal. Yeah. No respecter of persons. It's the decent thing to do to promote each other. You know, set the rules, you know. 27 degrees Pisces retro, a higher view. Yeah, God's watching you, especially the star in the collective, but it's like from a bird's eye view. He's watching this video game, this really sick video game. Okay. Tell us about what God sees, Most High. God, what do you see? What do you want to tell us? What do you want to tell us about this moment at this portal, this 1-1 portal? Okay, you don't see it, but it's alive. Judgment is alive. That's a judgment card. You don't see it, but it's very much alive. Okay, these people are being held accountable. Now, they can avoid talking to the ghost all they want, but it's alive. The ghost is alive tonight. That judgment's alive. Like, I want to know why you did this. Okay, and they're trying to avoid it. Do you want to tell us anything else about this judgment, Most High? They have, this person investigating has kept very good track of this magician. It's a magician. So it's this dude. Yeah, it's this dude. The cult leader. Wow. Wow. Okay, thank you, Neptune. I'm going to go up to Pluto because this is the 29 degrees Capricorn. This is judgment as well. And Patricia Neal had that birthday. Patricia Neal had like the Academy Award. Might have been 1963. She did a movie with Paul Newman. And yeah, this poor girl, when you discover the backstory of that girl's life, thank you. I think she wants to be here. She suffered like so many setbacks. I'm telling you, collective, if anyone would have threw in the towel, it would have been this Patricia Neal. And here she was on stage in front of everybody, you know, and fame always gives this illusion of like freedom, and it's just truly not. It's like they're just as enslaved as, you know, you or I. And anyway, she had children that passed and divorces, people cheated on her. I mean, just the crummiest. Let's put you at ground zero constantly. So hearing the collective story makes her reflect on that, because she thinks that something was shuffled or stolen behind her. And that's why those events were happening to her. In other words, magic. Is that what you want me to say? Yeah, just this dark, evil hand on her life to get something while she was distracted with the tragedy. See, your ops put tragedy in your lap, so you don't see what they're stealing behind you. And it was almost like clockwork, she says, Patricia Neal. But she's the one that said, I won't lie down. I will fight back. And she didn't know what she was fighting. And that's the first thing Collective tried to teach everyone watching is, okay, let's identify the enemy. You know, is it a cult? Is it a coven? Is it a family member? Is it a child? Is it, you know, high schooler? We don't know. We have to identify it, see? And I think when you started to identify, you realized this is huge. I'm going to need all of the collective to break this curse. You couldn't have done it without the entire collective, because all of a sudden all the little light bulbs went on and they could see it in their environment. This person's right. I can see the signs. This high influential group of people that there's no accountability for us. We're above the law. Oh, really? Yeah, we see you bought the law in a lot of courthouses, you know, but now you're above it. Okay. So they're in judgment for that. Yeah, train. Propose. Okay. Somebody is making plans or excited to propose. There's a lot of gossip about it, about this person coming toward you to propose something. Is it the pistol whipper? Who's this proposer? It might be like, you know, vocation, or that one doesn't go in there. Well, he wanted to come out. What is it? Oh, it's the, yeah, Page of Swords. He wants to come quickly toward you, but there's an ending. He can't come toward you either. So there's no proposals tonight. I'm really sorry if you were looking forward to that, hearing that in the reading. I think some of you just want like a message would be great, you know. I don't need no ring. And please don't say you want to take care of me, because look who took care of Collective for 50 years. Wow. And they did such a stellar job, didn't they? Setting you up to backstab you and steal. Wow. Nice. Now they're in judgment. Okay. So the destiny tonight is the 6 degrees Aries, and you have to alchemize this double Scorpio tonight. This is a lot. This is a lot of emotion, man. It's a lot. You know? You can blame the world for making a good man evil. It's this world that can drive a good man bad, mad. That's what they did, right? They drove Collective mad. You know? Some of you fought back, you know? But the whole purpose of that 6 degrees Aries is to remind you of obsessive people. There were many obsessions that the Most High discovered throughout this, how they walked things out. It became an obsession. You became an obsession. That's just a really poor balance of your energy, you know? What do you want to tell us about this obsession? This obsession, does Collective have a stalker? Yeah, there's crowds of people watching your testimony because they're obsessed. Like, for one, they don't know the black and white or the right or wrong. They really don't. So until this star is brought justice, you know, they wonder, they wait, they place bets. And I advise you against that. If you're doing that, if you're just watching to discern, is this person truthful? You know, I can see that. But if you're watching from a heart space, you know, how can I support this person? Energetically, you do. You support any video that you watch on the Collective, because this isn't an easy message. But, yeah, these obsessive people are, yeah, the gossipers, yeah. They are quite embarrassed. This is Page of Cups. She's looking back, kind of like, what did I just do? Like, not quite sure. And then the gossip, the Page of Swords. So somebody's getting caught up with this tonight. Who's getting caught up with that? Somebody said some stuff out of turn, and now they're kind of embarrassed. It's around your home. Four of Pentacles. Okay, so your neighbors. Yeah. I don't know, collective. If you get out of your residence, you know, I think law enforcement will look for cameras, and they will look for tricky little things that your ops hid, you know, witchcraft-wise. Maybe that's why they want you to leave the area that you live, so they can bust it down, man. Bust it down. They're going to be thorough, is what they're telling me. They're going to be thorough with your property. And it was a neighbor that kind of is embarrassed now. Like, you know, maybe they avoided waving to you or something, and now they feel stupid. I don't know. Okay, so what's this upside down destiny? Something about... Okay, yeah. Okay. So the healer tonight is supposed to be about justice so that we can move on with our lives and maybe keep a job somewhere and live. Happy-go-lucky. Because collective, they don't want that for you. But this is Ellen Goodman. Ellen Goodman was an author. Ellen Goodman wrote about turning tides. Was that what it was? Turning points. She wrote Turning Points. Ellen Goodman, Turning Points. So what is Turning Points about? Why is that relevant? Okay, Turning Points was about during the plot of an event, which you could say that we pretty much narrowed down the plot, right? We got this vicious group of people who have you signed, attached to a very expensive policy. They're just about ready to do A, B, and C, you know, do the legacy page on the internet, get as much money off of that as you can, you know. So these con men, okay, had this set up a certain way, but this is the plot. What's interesting, Ellen Goodman said, is that any character can change or turn the events of a story. Any one character can. Yeah. That's the power of your choices, is what I was getting at for the healer, for the destiny. Anyone, and so what that means is, if yeah, this dude. Okay, any of your ops, King of Coins, King of Wands, King of Cups, he showed up tonight. Any of your ops, Mars, we're in the plot of the story. They don't recognize how powerful their decisions are right now. Okay. It is behuvient to them. Is that a word? They give me some zingers, don't they? Behuvient of you, op person, that has disgraced a pretty decent person, you know, for lack of words. This is it's a pretty cool dude that you disgraced, okay? You can be the character that changes and turns the events by just going forward and doing what's right. Talking to that ghost behind you. Oh yeah, I did do that. What do I do now? Because that ghost is going to give that person a little bit of wisdom to make it, I don't know, easier. It's not going to be happy trails though. But that's what Turning Points is trying to tell your ops tonight, is at any given point, you can stop this illusion and somebody will have peace of mind. Peace of mind. And for some people, it's their whole life, you know? They were doing magic on you your whole life. And that's the tragedy, see? Because did you really have a life? Were those really your choices? Or just somebody who had strings on you the whole time? If you ask me, I would have a sense that that person was robbed of something. Quite more than just this money from the policy. So, wow. An incubus. Wow, an incubus. That's pretty powerful. All right, guys, have an awesome night. I love you.